23.2, and an airbag light. Morning, Duff here. And as you just saw, I apologize for the lighting. It's early. Well, it's not really that early, but just we have very little daylight right now at this point in January at around 7 a.m. in the morning. But I just wanted to shoot a quick Tacoma video. As you saw, my airbag light is still on, and what's been happening is the frequency of it has been increasing. When it first started, it was like once every 2 or 3 weeks I saw it come on, and then it was maybe a couple times a week, and then it was maybe every other day, and now it seems like pretty much every single drive I'm guaranteed to have the airbag light come on. So in a way that's good, because that means that the dealer won't have a hard time replicating it when I take it in for its 10,000 mile service, which will be shortly, because right now I'm at 9,500 miles approximately. So I'm hoping it's just a sensor or something easy, but yeah, that problem has not changed and has increased in its frequency. So I'll let you know. I'm hoping maybe next week I'll take it in for the 10,000 mile service, but I want to call and try to get a loaner car, because I think that's part of my Toyo Care package, that you get a loaner car if you need it. So we'll see. And the other thing that I showed was my average mileage for this tank of gas, which is pretty typical. I would say that I'm usually, if I'm the one driving, I'm usually in the 23s for a tank average. I don't think I've ever hit 24 as an overall tank average, but I've been in the high 23s before. And the reason that I showed that, I mentioned that, is I was watching one of Taco Bandit's videos last week, and he was covering some of the stuff that people, I guess, don't like about the Tacomas. And one of the things that they mentioned was gas mileage, saying that they weren't getting good gas mileage, that they were in the teens, I guess, for tank averages. And as you can see, I am not. Actually, on some trips, like a lot of times on my trips home from work, I have like a 22-23 mile commute, and I'm on roads primarily where the speed limit is 45 to 55 miles an hour. And a lot of times, when you turn the truck off, it shows you your mileage for that trip. I can average in the 26s for that commute, even in the 27s a few times. So it is possible to get pretty strong mileage out of the truck, and it all has to do with driving style. I've had a hybrid vehicle since 2007. I started, or actually 2006. I started with a Camry hybrid, and with a hybrid, of course, the big thing is how much mileage can you squeeze out of it. And what I learned from driving the vehicle was a specific driving style that maximized my numbers. I could get into the low 40s with that car. And actually, with our Toyota Prius, I can, if I'm the only one driving, I can probably get it like for up into the low 50s for an overall tank average. And the trick basically is steady speed, in a nutshell. That is the trick. If you're the type of person that likes to smash the gas when the light turns green, and you're freaking whipping in between cars, and you're jamming on the brakes, and you're slamming on the gas again to accelerate, guess what? Your mileage is going to suck. Okay, and people that drive like that and bitch about mileage, I'll never understand that. So. But basically, the way that most of my driving happens is I get the truck up to speed, and then I just keep a very, very steady speed. I have the current fuel economy graph on my dash at all times. I have that up all the time, so it gives me a quick reminder of how I'm doing as far as the amount of gas that I'm using. So I have that graph up, and basically, I get up to whatever speed I'm going, and then I just keep that speed. If I'm going 55, 60 miles an hour, I just keep that speed. I make sure I have plenty of space in front of me, so I don't need to be hitting the brakes a lot. You know, if somebody slows down slightly in front of me, I can just coast a little bit without having to necessarily always hit my brakes. And yeah, it's just, you know, maybe it's something that younger people just can't do. You know, I'm 49, so I'm not a youngster anymore. So driving that way doesn't bother me. You know, of course, once in a while it's fun to mash the gas and, you know, do a full power acceleration, which I do. But for the majority of my driving, I'm doing just very, very conservative, steady speed, and I've had good results. So if you are having issues with the mileage in the truck, you might want to try to rethink your driving style, because it's been my experience that the way you drive a vehicle can have a dramatic impact on the kind of mileage numbers that you're seeing. So if it's really important to you to get higher mileage out of your truck, you might want to try that. Oh, one other actual physical modification that you can do to increase your mileage is get a bed cover. If you do not have a bed cover, your tailgate acts like a constant air brake, and that definitely will affect your mileage as well. Especially if you do a lot of higher speed driving. I mean, you're putting a major MPG hit on your vehicle if you do not have a tailgate cover. I have a Vanish roll-up cover on mine. There's a video that outlines me installing it, and I'm very, very happy with it. It unrolls and rolls very, very quickly. Looks good. It's secure, and definitely assists in my mileage for the truck. So if you're looking for a physical thing you can do to help your mileage slightly, get a bed cover. So to recap, if you want better mileage in your Tacoma, drive at a steady speed. Put the current fuel economy meter on your main information window screen. If someone needs a video on how to change that stuff, I can do one, I guess. But it's pretty self-explanatory. And number 3, get a bed cover. And if you do those 3 things, I guarantee you will see better mileage numbers. Guaranteed. Ironically, this video was about gas mileage, and I just filled up my tank. So I will see if I can capture what my mileage is in my return commute home. I just want to mention, I've talked about this in other videos regarding the Tacoma and some of the negativity that you see out there. And actually just today I was commenting back and forth with a guy that has a 2016 TRD off-road, I believe, 4x4, and he was rattling off a bunch of the problems he was having. I think he was having a problem with windshield wipers. He has a shifting problem, you know, the transmission shifting problem. Some odd noises coming from the engine. The problem with the Intune radio, where I guess it just like loses all of its configuration, which I have heard about that from a couple people, and I have not had that problem myself personally, so I'm lucky. And it might have been a couple other things as well, but basically the bottom line was he's had a lot of annoying issues with his relatively new truck. And unfortunately in his situation, it sounds like he's dealing with a dealer that doesn't really give a shit. Like he basically said, hey, this is a 2016, there's supposed to be something you can do for the transmission to fix it, you know, just by reprogramming it. And they told him that that no advisories were coming up for his VIN number, which makes no sense. If it's a 2016, it has that issue. As far as I know, if it's 2016, it has that issue. So yeah, he's running into a lot of issues. But my point was that some people may get the idea, you know, if they go on YouTube looking for reviews on 2016 Tacoma, that, you know, they're just wrought with problems, and they're not good trucks, and I think that's probably going a little bit too far. Because normally when you go on YouTube and you see a negative video about a truck or anything, really, more often than not, it's a vocal minority that is making a video because they're pissed off that they're having a problem, and that's a natural human reaction to it, is to talk about it. So at this point, I would be hesitant to say that the 2016 Tacomas have a lot of problems. There certainly are some problems, as I've documented here. But I also have heard from a lot of people that have had no problems at all. They love the truck, and so it's unfortunate that all the trucks aren't perfect, and nobody. It'd be great if nobody ever had a problem with them, but that's not realistic, obviously. I am curious when they started building these trucks in Texas. If anyone happens to know the answer to that, I'd be interested. People are idiots. I'd be interested in knowing the answer to that, because my '99 Tacoma that I got rid of when I bought this, I don't believe that was made in Texas. So if anyone happens to know the answer to that, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be back with a mileage recap when I get home. All right, here we are for the commute home. My mileage, 26.4 over the 17.7 miles from the gas station. And like I said, 25, 26 is not unusual for me on my commute, so it is possible. All about driving style. So anyways, hopefully you found this interesting. Feel free to leave me a comment below, and until next time, Duffman out.